Hey everybody, Brian here from Solid Woodworks. Today we are actually going to be installing a 3rd gen 4Runner, so one of the older 4Runner models, but a ton of them out there. A lot of people love these older ones just because of the reliability, how easy it is to work on the engine, and it's a great entry point to going overlanding or off-roading. So let's get started. So all you're going to need for this install is a drill motor with a Phillips head. You're gonna need a 10mm socket. I actually have it on an impact to go on my drill motor as well. And then some of our hardware can have a 4mm Allen as well for some of the bolting down to the system. Everything else will come in your pre-cut kit, your turnbuckles and your L brackets to bolt it down to the system, or sorry, bolt the system down to the vehicle. So first off, what you're going to do is if you have anything in the back of your system or back of your vehicle cargo area, like a mat, like this customer, you want to remove that. A lot of them have the stock carpet down here as well, so you're going to want to remove that. And you want to make sure that this area is pretty clean. You're going to be putting your system in. Hopefully you're going to have it in for as long as possible. I always like to do a little vacuum or a wipe down. This customer actually has a really clean cargo area, so I'm not going to get into that yet. If you have anything mounted in the zone right here or on over your wheel wells or any patches or any Velcro or anything, you want to remove all of that. The system goes really tight between the wheel wells, so you want to make sure that's a nice open area. You don't want to get halfway through the install and have all these issues. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to go up here, fold down the second row seats, and we're going to remove one of the D-rings back there, and I'll show you how that works right now. All right, so when you come into the back of your 3rd gen here, you can do the classic seats folding down this way, or you can have the seat bases. Those fold forward. You pop the seat headrests off, pop this little plunger right here, and let that fold forward as well. That's going to expose this D-ring right here that's stock in the vehicle. What you're going to want to do is just kind of fold that flap back. You're going to take your 10mm socket. I have mine on my impact, like I said. Pop that in there. Pop your impact onto it. We'll get your wrench. And you're gonna remove that. You can do this on the driver's side as well. Now that you got all that area prepped, you're gonna grab a friend. Right now we got Abe, shop lead.
That's me.
And he's also the strongest guy here, so I pick him wisely. And he chose to wear a Solid Woodworks shirt today, which is sick. Oh. You're just gonna set this thing in there, drop the front a little bit, and it'll just kind of slide on this carpet. And it'll just fit in there like a glove. Boom. Thanks, Abe.
Yeah.
Cheers. So SolidWorks system sits in there just like that. We're gonna go to the back of the unit to install the L brackets now. So this is where your L brackets will be installed. So what you're gonna wanna do is take the L bracket that will come with your kit. You're gonna open up the carpet right here, which will expose this zone right here that you'll be bolting down your bracket to. And if you look, when you bolt it into this front hole right here, there's 2 holes on the bracket. We're going to be going with the same bolt you pulled out, this gold one, into that front hole right there. So kind of set it down in there, line up the hole, kind of finger tighten that. I like to just kind of finger tighten it on both sides, and you can kind of slide your system back to it. There we go. What you might want to have to do is you can see that the hole isn't perfectly lined up right now. Sometimes you got to push down on your system because your carpet is being compressed right now. And you're going to take that 1/4-20 bolt with the washer, put it in there, find the T-nut. I'll loosen up this one a little bit so I can get a little more tolerance. There you go, find that T-nut in there, tighten this one up. Perfect. Until it's fully flat. You want to make sure that bracket's flat back here. No gap, nothing's rattling when you're moving it, and then you can come back down and tighten this one. And that's your L bracket installed. All right, so we've got our L brackets in the back, the system's in here. Now we're just gonna take these turnbuckles that are included in the kit. These are the small turnbuckles. Unspin these, a couple fun ways to do that. Your finger like this, or you can kind of hold this and spin it. Just wanna get these fully extended. And these are gonna go right in here. You're gonna have your D-ring from your stock point of your vehicle right here in an up position, and this is the one that comes in the kit. You can do a hook and a hook, and I kind of like to hold pressure on it, and you're gonna start spinning it until you start feeling them both come together and kind of see them compressing. I'm just gonna kind of compress it until it's nearly tight. So right there's a little loose still. A little more, like right about there. I'm gonna do the same thing to the other side, and then I'm gonna kind of take a little finger width right here and kind of double check to see that it is in the correct position. Hook on it, and a hook on it. Start spinning this as it tightens. Once again, I'm gonna leave it a little bit loose because right now I'm gonna open the drawer. I'm gonna install your cubby face right here. I wanna make sure the cubby face is not rubbing on any of this plastic. Once I have these screwed in, then we'll tighten those up. All right, so this is what your cubby fronts in the 3rd gen look like. They're a little shorter than most kits because this is one of our shorter systems we have. You got that nice little curve there. This will be your right side. What I like to do is just take your black wood screw and just kind of hand tighten it in there. So then when I set it in here like this, it'll pop right into our little cubby right there. I'm gonna push it over a little bit like that. There we go. So that's kind of what I was talking about. You kind of want to make sure that you have that little gap right there. Now I'm going to take a Phillips head on my drill motor. It is a little tricky to fit it into this position, but once you get that in there, just kind of hold pressure so there's no gap here. Now that's installed. Do the same on the passenger side. So now that we have both those cubby fronts on, you're going to want to go to the back and now tighten up your turnbuckles. So I'm going to start on one side, kind of just get it finger tight. Look at this gap right here, and same thing, go to your other side and look at the same gap right here and tighten that down. They're both opposite depending on which way they're going. So this one's left to tighten, the other one is right to tighten. So if you really have trouble like with your fingers, you can kind of get a screwdriver in there and like torque it over, or a little wrench as well. So these turnbuckles right here help the system from not obviously bouncing right here. The back ones help it from not bouncing in the towards the front of the vehicle. Also, if you pull out your drawers with a lot of weight in them, the back L brackets help it not lift your drawers. And then these ones right here also help it from like shifting side to side as well. This is a very like tight system in between the wheel wells and 3rd gen, but all of this into these stock points help a ton. And now your system's in there and you're bouncing the vehicle and you're shaking it and it's not going anywhere. So next we're gonna do is the cubby tops and your bed extension. So in the back of your system, almost every single vehicle will have this wheel well area right here. Awesome use of space. What we like to do though is we make what we call a cubby. This is your cubby top and your cubby front. The front allows things not to fall out of there. Cubby top allows you to have access to it when you want, and nothing will fall in there when you don't want it to, right? So for the 3rd gen, this is the setup, and this is what the piece looks like. We also include a piano hinge, or a continuous hinge, whatever you like to call it. Sometimes those might be a little stiff from the painting process. There we go. Now we've got a nice loose one. We'll include a bag of 7/16 screw here so it doesn't pop through your wood at all. So what I like to do is just get a handful of screws, and there's a couple different ways you can do this. You can either set the hinge onto the cubby first, and then what you're gonna want to see is that the hinge, this little circle part, is halfway onto the wood, right? So you don't want it to be hanging over here, over there. You want it to be halfway onto the wood. So sometimes I will grab a little screw and bring your screw down, set it into the hole right here. And right before you screw it down, make sure it's kind of in the halfway point. That looks pretty good right there. And then same thing I'll do on this side. Make sure it's centered in there, or else it'll move your hinge around and just get that nice and snug. So now that you have it attached to your cubby, you can set this into here and then it kind of rests in there. So now it's not following through like this. If you're trying to hold this cubby up like this and get it all straight, it's gonna be really difficult. So what I'll do is make sure that the face right here is flush. You don't want to be pushed forward or pushed too far out and not allow your door to shut. So you wanna make sure this is nice and flush right here. Same thing, let's get another screw and screw it down. So if you noticed, I did not go into the same hole where the first one went, because when you alternate it, you can fold this over and the two heads won't hit each other. If I were to put it right here, this head would hit right here and you would not allow this to sit as flat as possible when it's fully open. So that's just one little tip on when you are installing your piano hinges. Now I'm just gonna work my way all the way along the side and start burying a couple screws into this piano hinge. There we go. Now you have a fully working cubby storage compartment, all kinds of good stuff in there. If you want to keep it open and have taller stuff in there, that's helpful. If you don't want, you can remove the cubbies from an option on our website, but I think it's a great little spot to store everything you need to. We still have it so you can access this compartment right here. I know a lot of people like to store stuff in there, or like to put like a little electrical panel in there, so you still have plenty of room when that closes. We're going to repeat the same process on this side. One thing I did not mention is that we do have these really cool part numbers now. on all of our pieces. So if you ever get lost during the install and you want to make sure that you have all the right parts, you can look at that. That says Q17, refer to your install manual, and you'll be able to understand exactly what piece goes where and making sure you have all the right parts. There we go. So that is your base system install. If you go with a standard or the premium model, you're gonna have a couple add-ons. So for this premium one the customer ordered, he wants the bed extension. So I'm gonna show you quickly how to build that. It's gonna be the same concept with the piano hinge. I'm just gonna drop that thing in the middle right there. I'm gonna set one screw, double check them in the center. Cool, and bury that. Come back to this zone. Doesn't really matter too much that you're straight or not yet on the two pieces, but yeah, put that one in as well. Okay, so now that I have the right side screwed in, I'm gonna make sure that these are nice and tight right here in the center and they're nice and flush. Drop that screw right into the center of that piano hinge hole and then hold them tight together, screw it down. All right, so that's all of those. Get rid of the rest of these screws. So that's your finished bed extension. If you notice, same thing in the corners, there's the little part numbers. This one says Q26, so you actually have a symmetrical piece here, so they can go on either side, but once you're finished, this will be able to fold together. It's just a little bit smaller of a piece to move around your bed, move around your house if you're not using it, than having a much larger piece of wood. So that's kind of fun. Also, if you have a 50% down or 50% up, you can kind of use this on one side or another side of your vehicle. Let me show you how the support goes in up here. So we have our bed support. We've actually changed this up a little bit recently. So this is Q27 and Q28. The way this one works now, we used to have a piano hinge here, so this folded. Now it's just two cutouts, which is super simple and really strong still. All you're gonna do is just drop that in there like such, and this is gonna sit right here. And this is what's gonna support your whole bed when it's inside of the rear of your system. Now we have the bed that we just built. We're gonna unfold it. We're gonna slide it over our system. We're going to line it up with here, and it just drops right in like that, nice and flat. If you have your front seats tilted back quite a bit, these seat bases might be pushed a little bit, so you might want to tilt those forward to make sure this fits in here. What I personally like to do is, once I have the bed system in here, I'm gonna be like doing like a trip or a long distance, I like to pull this seat back a little bit so it puts pressure right here against the wood so that this thing won't move or slide around at all. Now that you're in, you can pop up on here, get on your system, and just chill out after your install. Bed extension is in, so another add-on to your standard or premium model is our divider pieces, which looks like this, and it shows Q21 as your part number right there. This one is a piece that goes inside of your drawer system. You can see these cutouts along the top and the verticals right here. All you're gonna do with this is just go between the two jambs, find your slots, push it in nice and tight in there so it's not rattling. You can do that with quite a few of them on whatever configuration you want. Whether you want to have a single width or even a double width like this, you can find all those locations and drop them in. Another add-on to the premium package of your drawer system are these what we call separators. So these ones are going left to right in your drawer system or east to west. These ones are going north to south or front to back of your drawer system. This one's what we call a triple. So you can see it has 1, 2, 3. This will go between 3 different dividers or 3 bays as we call it, so that you can fit it like that. You can take this out, you can fit it like this, you can drop it down the center. You have a ton of different configurations with these separators. So let me show you how they all fit in. So say you wanted to have an insane amount of configuration, whether you're doing snacks or foods or different tools and stuff like that. You can have a triple, you can have a double, and then you can have another single. So this is honestly one of my favorite things about the entire drawer system is configuring your drawer however you want. I think one of our guys figured it out and there's like 87 configurations. So play around with that as much as you want. You can do foods, tools, you can separate everything. You can have little areas for little snacks or condiments or anything. I've seen some really cool photos of customers just having this thing fully decked out with what they need on their trip. Final add-on to your SolidWorks drawer system is our false tops. So we have a couple different styles. This is our bamboo false top. This one drops into these slots that I was showing you in the top, and it can slide within these slots front to back. We like to make it really tight so you're not sliding around or wiggling around. So that's how that one works. The second most popular one is probably our metal false tops. So these come out of an aluminum. And this one is perfect for if you have if you have a stove and you want to cook on something and not burn your bamboo, or you have grease or something like that and you want to easily wipe the grease off. One of my other really fun features about this, like we're even on like a little bit of a slant right now. If you were working on something or some parts or something like that, you can take this, flip it over. Now it creates like a cool little tray, so nothing will slide around or roll around. If it does, it catches it right here. So that's a pretty fun option. And once again, this one slides back around. These are also reversible from either drawer you want. So these are our false tops you can also find on our website, Solid Woodworks, and you can add to your system at any time. So that is the install of your 4Runner 3rd generation kit from Solid Woodworks. Thank you, Michael, our customer, for coming in and getting the premium model. This is now going to go to a great home. As you can see, he actually has dirt on his rig, which I love to see. It means you're actually using it, you're actually off-roading. He's got all his cool storage MOLLE panels in here. This is just going to add to his experience. So if you are interested in a 4Runner pre-cut kit for your 3rd gen, find us at solidwoodworks.com.